Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to this fourth lecture of MMod, in which we were discussing the numerical solutions to an algebraic or transcendental equations. Various methods were discussed. We have discussed bisection method. We have discussed false position method. We have discussed the Newton-Raphson method also. While discussing Newton-Raphson method, I have illustrated one algebraic example. During that lecture, I have given you a homework for a transcendental equations. That the solution of that example I am providing you here. The example was find the numerical solution to the transcendental equation x into log of x to the base 10 minus 1.2 equal to 0. Actually, we have already solved this example by making use of regular falsy method. The answer was 2.7410. The same example we are going to solve by Newton-Raphson method. So this is the equation which we need to solve by Newton-Raphson method. So we obviously denote f of x as x into log of x minus 1.2. It should be expressed in the form of equal to 0. So left hand side is x log x minus 1.2. That is our f of x. Next step is how to find out the interval in which the root lies. This is obtained by considering the f values, f of 0, f of 1, f of 2, these values, something like this. What is f of 1? We have already seen this. F of 1, put x equal to 1. 1 into log of 1 is 0, minus 1.2, 1 into 0 is 0, minus 1.8 is minus 1. So f of 1 is a negative value. F of 2, put x equal to 2 here, we get f of 2 as negative 0.597940, it is negative. For f of x equal to 3, f of 3 is plus 0.231364. So here the value is changing from f of 2 equal to negative to f of 3 equal to positive. That does mean that the root lies between these two interval 2 and 3, because for f of 2 it is negative, f of 3 is positive. Again, in this method, we start our initial root denoted by x0. Now question is, out of these 2 over 3, which is chosen as x0? So the f value which lies nearer to 0, that is chosen as x0. So f value, this value is minus 0.597940. f2, this value is 0.231364. So this value, the value of 3, f of 3 is nearer to 0. So we consider x0 equal to 3. You must note this. After taking x0 as equal to 3, we find the values of x1, x2, x3, x4 and so on. These values, they are found by Newton-Raphson formula. Here it is mentioned over here. Xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus f of xn upon f prime of xn. N equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So this is f of x, x log x to the base 10 minus 1.2. So f of xn would be xn into log of xn to the base 10 minus 1.2. Now, in the formula we have a derivative term also. So what is derivative of this? This is f of xn. So f prime of xn, I have used the product formula. First function xn into derivative of log of xn, it is 1 upon xn, that becomes 1, plus second function log of xn into derivative of first with respect to xn. Derivative of xn with respect to xn is 1. So this is the derivative. Now I am using this formula. If I put n equal to 0, n equal to 0, I will get value x1 as x0 minus f of x0, f prime of x0. x0 is 3. Where it is? So, same formula I use here. x1 is equal to x0 minus f of x0 upon f prime of x0. So, putting x0 equal to 3, 3 minus f of 3, we have seen that f of 3 is this, 2.231364, and f prime of 3 it is this. Put xn equal to 3 in this, x1 equal to 3, x0 equal to 3. So value of x1 comes out as 2.843368. Now, put n equal to 1 now in Newton-Raphson formula. N equal to 1, x2 is equal to x1 minus f of x1 upon f prime of x1. Where now x1 is 2.843368. Putting x1 equal to 2.843368 in the same formula f of xn, f prime of xn, I got the value of x2 as 2.781178. Using this repetitively, again putting n equal to 2, I would get the value of x3. N equal to 3, I would get the value of x4. N equal to 4, I would get the value of x5. Put n equal to 5 in Newton-Raphson formula, I would get the value of x6. And for n equal to 6, I will get the value of x7 as 2.741029. For n equal to 7, I will get the value of x8 as 2.741079. So out of these values, I found over here that in the values of x7 and x8, this 2.7410, these 4 decimal places, 0.7410, they are repeating. 2.7410, they are repeating, and hence we can guess that x equal to, therefore x equal to 2.7410 approximately equal to is the approximate root of given transcendental equation. The same example we have solved with the help of false position method. The same solution I have provided you by Newton-Raphson formula or Newton-Raphson method. So take down this solution of this example. This method is supposed to be most important. It is often asked in the examination everywhere. In every examination, this is the significant question to ask because it is the most prominent, most significant, most important, most cracking, most advantageous method as far as approaching towards the solution is concerned. So just take down this. After this, there is a last method, which is an iterative method called as the successive approximation method. That is the fourth method. After bisection method, regular falsy method and Newton-Raphson method, the fourth method is the successive approximation method. It is also called as iterative method. that we shall discuss. So hope this you have understood this example quite easily, clearly. So just take it into your notes. In the next, after this, we shall discuss successive approximation method. Now friends, this is the fourth method, which I told you previously was the method of successive approximation or successive approximation method. Earlier we have discussed three methods: bisection method, regular false method or false position method, and Newton-Raphson method. So this is the fourth method. This is an iterative method, repetitive method. It is also called as successive approximation method. And methodology is mentioned over here. So, what is the methodology or procedure or algorithm or modus operandi? If the f of x equal to 0 is the given algebraic or transcendental equation whose root is to be determined numerically. So let us denote f of x equal to 0 as the equation, given equation whose roots are to be determined. Okay. Now, from this equation f of x equal to 0, find the value of x or express it in the form of x equal to whatever right hand side is, that is denoted by phi of x. So rewriting the above equation in the form of x equal to phi of x. That is our equation number 2. Now, we assume x equal to phi of x on the right hand side of this equation number 2, x equal to x naught or x0 be the initial root or initial approximate solution of the given equation. Question is how to spot this, how to determine this x naught. In all the four methods earlier we have first determined the interval in which root lies. So any one value which is nearer to 0 can be considered as x naught. If root lies between 0 and 1, so whichever value 0 or either 1 which is nearer to 0 can be considered, or any values between 0 and 1 we can also consider those values as x0 or x naught, that is the initial approximation or starting solution or initial solution of the given expression, which is either algebraic equation or what we say the transcendental equation. So if we assume x equal to x0 be the starting solution, initial approximate solution, and denote the first approximate root phi of x0, I have put x equal to x0 as the initial approximate solution, and I have denoted that value phi of x0 which is nearer and nearer to 0 by x1. This x1 is called as the first approximate root. Again setting x equal to x1 on the right hand side again, Now phi of x1, I will denote it as x2. Again setting phi of x2 equal to x3, third approximate solution. Phi of x3 equal to x4. Phi of x4 equal to x5. Phi of x5 equal to x6 and so on. In general, I would have this successive approximate formula as phi of xn equal to xn plus 1 or xn plus 1 equal to phi of xn. N is varying from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Now, if this sequence of iterates that we have seen x1, x2, x0, x1, x2, xn, if they converges or approaches towards certain fixed numerical value, say alpha, then that alpha is said to be the root of given equation. So just note it down. We shall solve an example based on this. So friends, we shall solve one illustrative example based on successive approximation method. The algebraic equation whose roots are to be determined, we shall solve this equation x cube plus x square minus 1 equal to 0 by successive approximation method. So what is our f of x? Solution. Let f of x be equal to x cube plus x square minus 1. This is equation 1. The second step is find the value of x from this. How shall we find? So, in the first two terms, x square is common. X square is common. So, x plus 1 minus 1 equal to 0. Therefore, x square is equal to 1 upon x plus 1, or in other words, x is equal to under root of 1 upon x plus 1. So x equal to phi of x. This is 1 upon root of x plus 1 is called as phi of x. This we denote it as an equation number 2. Now, we shall determine the interval in which the root of this equation lies. कौन से इंटरवल में इसका रूट लाया करता है? In which interval the root of this equation lies? So what is f of 0? Here f of 0 is, put x equal to 0 plus 0 minus 1, negative minus 1. What is f of 1? 1 plus 1 minus 1, it is 1. 2 minus 1, it is 1. It is positive. What does this mean? It is changing from negative to positive or positive to negative. Hence, the root lies in the interval 0 and 1. f of 0 is minus 1, f of 1 is plus 1. Both the values, they are equidistant from 0, minus 1 and plus 1. So, in such case, we select the initial root x0 is equal to the center of this interval. 0 plus 1 by 2, it is 1 by 2. 1 by 2, it is 0.5. Let be an initial approximate root. Therefore, if x0 is 1 by 2.5, x1 is equal to phi of x0, or x1 is, what is phi of x0 0.5? Is 1 upon 1 plus 0.5, or it equal to 1 upon under root of 1.5. 1 upon under root of 1.5, that value is 0.81649. 0.81649. So x1 is 0.81649. Again, therefore, x2 is equal to phi of x1. So it is equal to, what is phi of x1? It is 1 upon 1 plus 0.81649, and the numerical answer to this is 0.74176. 0.74176. So that is our value of x2. Again, x3 is equal to phi of x2. Successive approximation formula. It is, formula for phi of x2 is 1 upon under root of 1 plus x2, it is 0.74176. So x3 is 75767, 0.7576. x4 is equal to, x4 will obviously be equal to phi of x3 by our formula, and phi of x3 is 1 upon under root of 1 plus x3, and that is equal to 1 upon under root of 1 plus x3 is 75767. 0.75767, and this value of x4 is 75427. 0.75427. You need to calculate at least 6 to 8 values so as to get good marks, because therefore x5 is equal to, now it is equal to phi of x4, that is equal to 1 upon under root of 1 plus x4, and that is equal to 1 upon 1 plus x4 is 0.75427. This value comes out as x5 0.75501. 0.75501. Therefore, now x6 is equal to phi of x5, that is equal to 1 upon under root of 1 plus x5. Now substitute the value of x5 as 1 upon under root of 1 plus 0.75501. I will get the value of x6 as 75485. 0.75485. x7. It is equal to phi of x6. Phi of x is nothing but 1 upon under root of 1 plus x6. That is equal. Putting the value of x6 as 1 upon under root of 1 plus 0.75485. So I will get the value of x7 as 75488. 0.75488. x8 is obviously equal to phi of x7 1 upon under root of 1 plus x7. x7 is 1 upon under root of 1 plus x7 is 0.75488. This value is again repeatedly coming as 75488. That is the meaning of convergence of a solution. Both the values x7 and x8, they are repeating. 0.75488 x7, x8 0.75488, they are repeating. In other words, it is called as these values x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6. They are all tending towards, they are all converging towards x7 and x8. Even if you determine the value of x9, it would be approximately again equal to 0.75488. x10, 0.75488. x11, 0.75488, and so on. That is the meaning of the convergence of a solution. It does not converges always. In many examples, it diverges also. But in 90% of examples, if we select this x0 wisely, cautiously, here we have chosen x0 is equal to 0.5. Even if you choose x0 equal to 0 or x0 equal to 1, you will get the same answer, but these steps will be increased. To reduce these steps, I have deliberately taken, I have wisely taken the x0 is equal to 0.5 because f of 0 is minus 1, f of 1 is plus 1. Both the values, they are equidistant from 0. Plus 1 and minus 1. So, the root lies in between 0 and 1, somewhere between, which is 0.75, something like this, 75488. So, I have wisely chosen the center of this interval from 0 and 1. I chosen x0 as 0.5, 0 plus 1 by 2, 0.5 as the initial approximate root of the given equation. And from this 0.5, I have approached to 0.8, 81, 0.74, 75 and so on. I have approached towards 0.75488, which is repeating in x7 and x8. Since x7 they are approximately equal to x8, x7 approximately equal to x8, which is approximately equal to 0.75488 is the required approximate numerical solution to the given this cubic algebraic equation. It has three roots. So one of the numerical values, approximate of course, is this. So that is the method of successive approximation illustrated by this example. Hope you have understood this method. It's very, very simple. One just formula is there. Xn plus 1 is equal to phi of xn. From that example, we can successfully determine these iterates, these roots, and we determine the convergence x7 and x8, they are repeating. So that is the approximate required solution to given algebraic equation, which is cubic equation. So with these four methods, false position method, number 2 bisection method, number 3 Newton-Raphson method, and number 4 successive approximation method. The all four methods of finding out the numerical solutions to the algebraic or transcendental equations, they are finished now. Now we are switching towards the next part, B part. B part is determining the numerical solutions to the system of linear equations that we shall discuss in lecture number 5. Thank you very much.